Hey guys, welcome back to Uncapped here. Today we have Steven Stozy Pokes Stolzenfeld with us.
Hey
Stozy,
guys,
how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I just rolled out of bed not too long ago, feeling ready to take on the day. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Awesome.
Of course.
So, how'd you get started in poker? What's your poker career? Where'd that get off?
I don't know. I'm much like a lot of guys my age who watched it on ESPN, Moneymaker Effect, in 2003. I was remember I would have to babysit my younger brother. He's about 12 years younger than me. He was just one or two at the time, and I was stuck at home during summer vacation, and they just played it all summer long. And yeah, just stuck at home watching my brother, and I was just watching that on a loop for a few months, and just I was hooked. And just kind of drawn to the fact that people making a lot of money playing this game. I just wanted to do that. It just kind of just struck me like a lot of people, like a lot of other people. And I didn't really didn't really lead me to playing immediately. I think I might play on like Yahoo Poker or something for free for years, and or like
Yahoo Poker.
well,
I don't think
I didn't
we've
know
ever
that
heard of that
existed.
one. That's Play Money Poker?
yeah, it was just play money poker. It was just for
Okay.
fun. Like I would just play euchre and poker, and I was just like obsessed with card games. I guess my dad also kind of got me into it, just playing with like quarters and nickels and stuff when with his friends and stuff.
Mhm.
When I was like 11, 12, 13, same around the same time. Um, and I would just I don't know if they would let me win, but I would just come home with like $80 in like quarters, and I'm like, this is so sick. And I think that really that stuck with me as well. But so how I got started in a more professional sense is I was working I was working at Little Caesars as a manager, and they falsely accused me of like stealing money out of this pop cup, and it led me to getting like falsely fired. And
Mm.
I was living with in an apartment with a couple friends, and we ended up getting evicted. We had like a 6-month lease, and we're on like the 5th month, and we're none of us can afford to pay rent, and we just like get evicted because don't have money.
Mhm.
And we just like move. We're like 18 years old, right? It's just we just wanted to go have fun with our friends, and so get evicted from this apartment, move back at home. I have like $70 to my name, and we're like, cool. I guess we're restarting over, and we'd been going to play like these free rolls at this charity poker room. Um, on occasions, on like Friday nights, this charity poker room would have 150 people playing like a free roll, and um, they also had cash games. And so after this impending layoff or firing, I have this $70 to my name. And I'm like, whatever, let's go. One of my buddies is like, let's go play poker. I'm like, sure. We have got nothing to lose now. We have security at our parents' houses, sadly, but take $70 and play this cash session. And it just turned into 4K in one night. I'm just like, what the hell?
Wow.
Wow.
I've never had 4K in my life. I'm like, this is
Wow.
amazing. So this was like towards the end of the spring, and I just end up spending the entire summer grinding cash at this place. And I'm just super hooked. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm like collecting unemployment from a wrongful firing from Little Caesars, and I'm just addicted to playing cash. Like, I don't think I'm particularly good at this point,
Mhm.
but no one else is either.
Yeah.
And so I'm probably breaking even throughout the summer, but having been big swings and like really getting the heart pumping while doing it. Um, so like most people, that led me with no experience. That led me to just like going broke. Um, over the course of like 3, 6, 8 months or something of doing it. And then the charity room that I was playing at, I ended up becoming familiar with the dealers and the staff there, and um, I start I got a job at a plastic injection molding manufacturing factory where my brother was working, and I worked there for like 2 or 3 months. um, while still trying to play poker. And, I'm just a 19-year-old kid messing around with my friends and stuff. And I get laid off from there because this is
So what year was
2000
this?
and this
Oh,
was like 2000 and I want to say 9.
Ooh,
oh
yeah.
wow.
I'm an old man, yeah.
You're an old man,
Um,
Stozy.
No, that's financial crisis. Yeah, markets
yeah,
were.
that's during the financial crisis. So like, there's just layoffs like very constantly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so I get laid off. I've been there maybe 2 or 3 months, and uh, I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm friendly with these people at this charity poker room that I've been playing at, and they're like, "Oh, do you want a job dealing?" I'm like, "I've never dealt before." I'm like shaking, thinking about doing it in front of 9 people who like I've never done this before. But I go in, audition or whatever, and they're like, "You did great. Yeah, just come in and deal tournaments 3 days a week." And it was like $50 a day. You come in, you like go to the charity window, and they give you your $50 at the end of your shift, and that's all you could make. But it was better than standing at a factory, which was by the end of it was just giving me anxiety about going inside. I don't know how if you guys know how redundant working at a factory is, but it was uh it was definitely driving me crazy. But
What
yeah,
was that? What
what's
was
that?
that like? What was that like in terms of just redundancy? You were just doing the same thing for like 8 hours a day. Like you were on a line, or
Yeah,
where?
yeah, it was kind of just like um a rubber or plastic part would come out of the machine. You would have to clip it or look at it for defects and either trim the defects or mark it down, and that's all you would do. The same
Okay.
part over and over and over and over again. It was really fast paced, but it was very redundant, and it just my anxiety was through the roof with how like fast paced and boring it was. I'm like, holy shit, I can't leave here. I can't talk to anybody, and yeah, I just needed. I was very lucky to get laid off because I could just be where. Not saying where my brother is bad. He's running the entire plant now and doing very well, but um, I couldn't have been it. I couldn't have been luckier to get laid off. I don't think my trajectory of my life could have been a lot different.
Hmm.
It's that
Um,
butterfly effect. But it,
for
it seemed
sure.
like it ended up working out, Like sometimes I'm sure you were much happier making less money dealing poker tournaments, being around something that you enjoy, um, instead
Yeah,
of
and
working at the
yeah, I
factory.
didn't necessarily need money at this time either. It was just like I was still living at home and trying to figure it out. I was going to school full time and going to school full time, working full time, and just hanging out with friends and had infinite energy to do all these things. I don't know how, like reflecting on it now, I'm like, when did I sleep? No
I
idea.
got fired from a job too. A
You
few.
did?
Yeah, a few times. When I was trying to play poker when I started, I was like playing 50 NL and 100 NL. Um, I had three, I guess was working two jobs. So I was serving and I was like managing a cigar shop while I was trying to build my bankroll. And I remember I worked the serving job, came home and played poker all night, and then had to go to the cigar shop in the morning. And I was so tired. And I brought a pillow to work. And I just crashed. And like they saw on camera me bring a pillow to
That's
work. And
crazy.
he called me, like the manager called me. He's like, "Pack, get your shit. You're fucking, you're done." I'm like, all right. I deserved it.
Yeah,
I mean, I was a little shit,
that's a
but it
little bit
was,
disrespectful to like it was a little premeditated that you brought a pillow to like you planned on sleeping on the job. Like it's one thing to
yeah.
just fall asleep like organically, like, oh shit, sorry man. You literally brought a pillow.
I think I wore pajamas to the shift that day too,
Oh my
if I remember
god,
correctly.
you
So it was
committed to the
like,
bit.
it was
That's
very
hilarious.
disrespectful. I think internally I wanted to be done with that job. So
Yeah.
maybe like I feel bad. Yes, now I feel bad leaving on a sour note, but I'm still friends with them. Uh, so I mean, I ended up apologizing, and like there was no bad blood on my end because I feel like I knew why they fired me and it made sense, and yeah, definitely deserved it. But
Yeah, that's
yeah,
really funny. But like a job like that is pretty laid back where it's not the end of the world. It's like, oh, Lucas really screwed us over. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, Lucas Lucas was tired that day. Or I'm sorry, you're
Justin.
Justin, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the
Sorry.
reason why I took that job is because it was so chill that I could sit in the back and I'm like, okay, I could play like 50 and L on my computer while I'm like working. um, so I'm grateful that I was able to do that and they were chill about that, but the lifestyle was really unhealthy because you're just sitting like you stink like cigars all the time and you're smoking cigars the whole shift. So it's just an interesting part of my life.
Oh wow, you can smoke inside of that place?
Yeah, it's like a whole
Okay.
cigar lounge and everything.
Oh, it's a lounge and stuff. Sweet.
Yeah,
It's pretty
all
much
the
like working at
guys.
a hookah lounge or whatever.
Yeah, um, my mouth is like this. I'm like getting nauseous thinking about the smell.
I'm like
I can't even
salivating thinking
smell
about it.
that.
Like I'm,
It
I,
just
I used I used to be a smoker and I don't smoke anymore. I'm just like, ooh, nicotine. Like this prospect of nicotine going in my system sounds great, but yeah,
So Stozy,
um,
the addictive
just
brain.
getting
It's
back on
crazy.
track. So you're dealing this charity game. You're making $50 every shift. Where do
Yeah,
you go?
I end up doing that for maybe a year or two. I hop around to a few other different ones as like traffic moves and that one dies down, other ones get busier. I'm going to school pretty aimlessly, with not a lot of sense of direction. I have like aptitudes for a lot of things, but I've never been like some kids are like, "Yeah, I'm going to go to the Air Force when I grow up. I'm going to be a mechanic. I'm going to be a lawyer." I'm like, "I don't give a shit about anything." I'm just so apathetic. I don't have a niche, you know. I'm like relatively good at many things, but master of none or whatever, jack of all trades, master of none, sure. Um but yeah, just not a lot of sense of direction and yeah, just no passion for anything. So going to school pretty aimlessly, just switching majors left and right and trying to grind just have fun with friends, drinking, partying, and doing the whole young early 20s thing for maybe too long. And uh, end up end up switching from like dealing in charity rooms to dealing in like private games, like high stakes private games, PLO games with like, man, like the like local public officials, bunch of like builders, really like big name people in the community who are like really wealthy, just gambling it out for like tens of thousands of dollars at a time. So that was an interesting part of my life. From there, I from there like I'm kind of like doing okay, I'm saving some money. I finally get sick of like the whole living paycheck to paycheck kind of thing and start like getting my shit together. I start dating this girl who's living in Texas because my family lives in Texas. Met a girl out there while I was on vacation. We started dating for a little while. I have plans to move down there. She she ends up like breaking my heart, and I go in like this massive depression. Like I don't want to get too much into detail about this, but it was like a massive blow to me, and I go through like this crazy depression for 6 to 8 months, and I'm not playing a whole lot of poker this time. I'm dealing to save money to go down there and go to school and finish. I'm about 25 at this time. And through my depression, I decide I have this epiphany that I'm sick of just aimlessly playing poker and breaking even or making a little for beer money and bullshit. And I'm like, I'm gonna sink all my energy into apparently people are studying these days. I'm like, I don't know how to, this is in 2013 or 14. I'm like,
mhm.
I've never known how to study for poker. I've heard about people doing it. I don't know what how to do it. And I stumble upon I don't know if you guys know who Gripst is.
Nope.
Evan Jarvis. He was the roommate of Greg Merson. Do you know who Greg Merson is?
Yeah,
Yes.
He
little
was
New Jersey
Greg
legend there.
Merson's roommate right before he won the main, and he started putting out YouTube content, just poker training. He's got, man, hundreds of videos, and I started sinking my teeth into those and was like, okay, all this logic makes sense. And I just didn't know how to study at this time. I'm like, I I was okay at building my own strategies, but like no math, wasn't using really math to like prove these strategies or anything like that. So started sinking my teeth into those for, I want to say, 3 to 6 months, and then I started playing. I'm like, okay, I'll start playing online again. I just started firing on. It was Ignition. It was Bovada back then, and just playing lows and mids and finding success there.
Are
Um,
you low
Cash
stakes
games or
tournaments?
yeah, yeah. Tournaments only. I
okay.
really all of the training videos I was watching were tournament based.
Hmm.
I'd only been playing cash leading up to this point, by the way. Like I had
Yeah.
no tournament experience. Like maybe
Hmm.
a few $50 nightlies at the local charity room or something, but no training and not a lot of background. But yeah, my interest was always in just like um put in small amount of money, get big amount of reward kind of thing. So that's always kind of like fueled the fire for me. I'm not. I've always maybe I was just burnt out from cash games at this point. Just every day, like, oh, you playing 1-2, you just buy in for 200, you might win 150 to $500 tops, and like that's okay if you can do it consistently. But it's not that interesting to me.
Hmm.
I,
Yeah, I think to cut in tournaments. I think a lot of people find a lot of excitement in tournaments. One, because you can invest a little and make a lot, but I, the most entertaining thing or the most engaging thing is how uh, gameplay is always changing and the stack depths are different and strategies are constantly changing and you have to think on the fly in a lot of spots. And I think the redundance of cash games can catch up to some people or just not be as interesting. It almost
yeah, that's
feels a
pretty
bit
much what
more
happened
like
to
a
me.
9 to 5. Yeah. Um, but
Yeah, it may have been different if I were more studied and more successful in those games, but like um I think I was always running into like every meaningful pot in cash games I would ever play, like I would just lose the big pot to like some crazy gut shot or whatever, or so it felt like to me. Maybe it was just like the pre-trained fish in me, where I'm just like, I'm losing to such dirty shit. I lose all the pots that I care, like I really want to win, right?
Yeah.
But it also just might be like really low sample,
Hmm.
and
mhm.
I didn't know it. My brain just thinks that way. I'll just remember the bad beats that I took. But
Yeah.
anyway, I never had too much success. I think it was everyone always touted me in this community of like 400 people. They're like, "Oh, you're one of the best," but like, man, if I'm one of the best, no one's making fucking money because I wasn't making a lot of money doing it. So it wasn't enough for me to like not want to deal poker and like just start playing exclusively. So
Hmm.
When did you make that decision? Like
I'm
when
sorry.
when did you make the decision to like quit everything and just jump into poker full time? Was it a long process when your bankroll was already really big? So, or was it more of like a risk? Did it feel very risky at the time when you quit and just jumped full time into
Um,
poker?
I mean, I've always had dealing as kind of a supplemental thing.
Hmm.
Um, up until even like 3 or 4 years, like 3 years ago, just because it's really solid guaranteed money and it's what's suck to lose that kind of connection
Hmm.
um in the event things go badly. But I kind of made that decision. So I was playing on Bovada for maybe a year, just kind of learning, and I think I was up maybe 10 or 15K. Kept kind of reaching out for other like-minded people. I've joined a couple Skype groups with people who were trying to get better and who were maybe better than me at the time. Guys who lived in like North Carolina or something I was connecting with. I have no idea how I met them through Bovada, just I think by talking shit or something in the chat. It's how
I
you
never
meet
do
your
that.
friends. Right.
Justin knows that all too well.
But I think around this time I quit dealing. It was shortly after that. I think I made like just under 6 figures in like a year and a half or something. And I'm like, this is really sick. I'm doing really well, and I'm not playing anything big. I'm occasionally playing 215s on like a Sunday, but I'm mostly just playing like 109s and under. And um so I quit dealing for maybe a year or two, and then the games dried up. The games got
Mm-hmm.
a bit harder, guarantees got lower. This is like 2017, and games got harder. There was just less money, less free money, and I wasn't putting a lot of work in to be as successful. And I end up kind of just falling back into dealing for a couple years. And maybe a few years. It wasn't until COVID that I started playing full time again, when ACR kind of took off and it boomed and everyone's at home just with their 30K that the government gave them to fucking spend, and had a reasonable year on there. I made like 80K in 2020 or something on ACR, but I didn't actually find regulated poker again, or I found regulated poker a little bit later than I would have liked to.
Were you in Michigan at the
I was
time?
in Michigan throughout this time, yeah.
And was it, I mean, New Jersey's has had regulated for a long time. When did, it's information I'm ignorant on, when did Michigan get regulated poker? Wasn't it around 2018, 2019?
2021, I want to say.
Okay. No, so I'm a bit later. So you guys kind of missed the regulated wave
Yeah,
to
you
a
guys got in
degree.
what, 2017, right?
Earlier, I think like
16?
Earlier.
2014.
Yeah,
No
I think
Is that
way.
something we can look up?
we've
Yeah, it
had
was like really early.
we've had it for a while.
It was like
Yeah,
Vegas and New
throughout
Jersey were very early.
Yeah, that wasn't even on my radar as like an option. Like, oh, I can move to another state to like go play if I wanted to, and probably have more success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, New Jersey's been legal since 2013. Long time. Basically,
Yeah.
like after Black Friday, they just worked to legalize it, and we got it. So
Okay, yeah, I think Stars came. I think it's like, I think it was in January of 2021, but I wouldn't be surprised if you said 2020. But I'm pretty sure it's January of 2021, and the prize pools were massive. I was missing out entirely. I'm just like, I was I was still like enthralled in the ACR. Just had a beautiful schedule. Every single day there was just 15 to 25 tournaments you could play that were just juicy, and I thought that was it for me. I'm like, this is great. I want to do this all day, every day, and I was just playing 50 tournaments every day in 2021, 2022. It wasn't until like the end of 2022 until I even found like MGM. I didn't
oh wow.
I didn't play Yeah, I didn't even get on MGM until 2022. Like,
hmm
I can only imagine like how much better I would be doing now, like financially, if I would have
Well,
found
what
these
year did you
earlier.
win the scoop on Poker Stars?
In 2022, I want to say. No. Yeah, it was 2020. Nope.
Was it
It was
2021?
definitely it was 2022, spring of 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big score for you. So we got two
Yeah,
fellow
that was my
Scoop Gang
first big
winners.
score, but I sold that as part of a package. There
Mm.
was
That's unlucky.
yeah, I mean, what can you do? I wanted to play it, and that was pretty high stakes for me at the time. I wasn't really playing 300s, or I wasn't playing anything over like 200s on
Mhm.
my own.
Mhm.
And I had a lot of imposter syndrome going on where I didn't believe I could do it, you know? I'm just like,
Mhm.
I'm very happy to sell this, and I think I sold it in a part of a package, maybe I was playing the Venom for the first time, and I packaged that in with, like, the Venom.
Mhm.
Of course, I 5x the Venom as well, so, like, the
Oh,
investors for
wow.
that package had a good time.
That must have been a sick feeling.
Uh, yeah, just giving away all the money, but for me, like, it was never about, like, of course, I wanna accumulate wealth, but, like, I'm like a lot of other sickos who are just like, "I just wanna play the games." Like, I just wanna be able to play more games. That's my goal at the end of the day, is just be able to have the role to keep playing.
Mhm.
So, I never care about, like, being rich or having a lot of nice things, like, I just wanna be able to play every day. So, I was
Yeah,
just happy that people invested and I was afforded that ability, you know?
tournaments will really give you FOMO when you don't have the role or can't compete in certain games. It's really tough to drop down in tournaments. I think it's much easier to drop in cash games than um, like tournaments if a series is running or something and you have to drop in stakes. And I think it's something that a lot of players go through, and a discipline that is formed. But like you said, sometimes it's not like about being rich, just being able to stay in there and compete at a high level, which means you like the games are getting tougher um, at higher stakes. Um, where do you think? Do you think it? Do you think it's only going to get worse and tougher, or do you think that like maybe with additions, like with the additions of other states and stuff, there's potential for some sort of a COVID boom in a sense?
Yeah, I think there's gonna be, like, peaks and troughs. It's gonna go up and down, and there's gonna be cycles of this where there's gonna be, younger kids coming into the pool with, maybe mom and dad's money or something here or there, and there's gonna be spikes of,
Mm-hmm.
like, random people or sports bettors and guys guys finding poker one way or another who are gonna feed the pool, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's just always gonna be the inevitable that drying up, and then, just ups and downs like this. But yeah, obviously there's a lot of opportunity with Virginia coming in or
Mm-hmm.
Maine finally joining us, but I think that the sustainability of it is inevitably going to just taper off. I think it's going to I think there's going to be a boom when those happen, just like when New Jersey and Michigan first merged. It was like, it felt like
Mm-hmm.
when Michigan first got poker. It was just like a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is rejuvenating the poker scene." Like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
the fish think they have a chance again for a second or whatever." And then that novelty quickly wears off, and then they're like, "Oh, poker still sucks. This shit's still rigged or whatever." I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm only pretending to know how a lot of the masses think, but that's what it feels like from my perspective of seeing how the fields um kind of were distributed.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah, it does. Sometimes merging might have some sort of a negative effect. I think MGM was so good when it was New Jersey, and then when it was New Jersey, Michigan.
Yeah,
And I
it was
talk
it
about
was in
this
a no
like,
it was November as well. That was the crazy part. That it was booming in November, which doesn't happen that often.
yeah, and then like PA came, and I'm like, you know, it just got way tougher. I think well, that's like the site that's very notable is like, damn, MGM got like way tougher pretty quickly. And I think that kind of opened my eyes to how fast things can like change and ebb and flow to what, the point you made, um, is like, is like the whole, if the all of United States just was like, okay, poker's legal and it's all one merged pool. Like, how do you think that would affect the poker? I think it would be
I think
really good for early
I
on.
it would be good for maybe 2 years,
Hmm.
probably more, probably a little less, maybe like a year to 18 months. And then the novelty would wear off. We would lose a lot of the sports betting guys would just go to only sports betting or gambling in other ways that are more fun and take
Hmm.
less time, more instant gratification things or whatever. But as for like sustained poker pool, it would just, I mean, how does WSOP feel? Pretty rough sometimes.
Well, I
I
think WSOP is the one that has been the least affected by the merger. I think MGM's gotten
Mhm.
tougher compared to WSOP. I don't know if you feel that way, but for me, I feel like MGM's, you can definitely notice, especially in the higher buy-ins, like the 250s plus, unless they're
Right.
running like a 1K special, right? But like outside of series, like just your Tuesday 500 or um like a 250 on a Wednesday or, sort of some of these off days, it does feel like MGM's like higher buy-ins are tougher than WSOP's higher buy-ins, whereas like the 215 daily on, WSOP can be a bit fishy sometimes. And
Yeah,
uh,
I mean, it was very tough. It was kind of like it felt like a zero ROI game for a while, the 215 nightly. And now I think a lot of regs gave up on it because of that notion. There's like, all right, well, I'd rather just go to bed earlier than play this game.
yeah.
So it has gotten slightly easier. But in terms of like MGM being the hardest or the a more noticeable feel, I think that a lot of the low ROI or slight losing break even players, like just like the nit regs or whatever, they s-
Mhm.
they stopped playing the high stakes.
Mhm.
They saw like an oversaturation of like good regs for after a couple weeks, and then they're like, okay, there's no money for me here anymore, and they just very very quickly adapted to that the games aren't what they want it to be.
Mhm. The 250
Um,
Turbo, Tuesday Turbo is a pretty good example on MGM. That
Oof.
lineup sometimes is rough. Like I'll
yeah,
I'll look at that lobby and I'm like, I don't even know if I want to play this. Um,
yeah. I don't know if I've stayed in that tournament long enough to know what the field looks like,
no,
but
it'll just sometimes be like a lot of the top guys in the pool and maybe one fish, and sometimes it's just all regs like left at max off, and I'm like, oh brother, this is this
yeah,
is gonna be an endeavor.
I'm probably punting because I don't really lobby check MGM. I just blindly reg everything. Whereas like WSOP, I'll lobby check before I reg some like 500s and 1Ks.
Hmm.
I think there's
Whereas
this trickle
MGM,
effect though, where it's like oh, a few recs stop playing, and then other recs are like, oh, this is tougher, so now I'm gonna leave, and then now like bad regs are like, okay, this is just not profitable for me anymore, so then they leave. Uh, Whereas opposed to like more recs join, and then oh, like tighter bad regs are like, oh, I can probably win here, so then they join, and then someone's like, oh, I can shot take this, and so then it's almost like when something is on the rise, that
yeah, they're just
momentum can
momentum
take
coming
it.
from momentum forces things up and then it forces it down as well. Absolutely, and it's nice. It's nice when a series takes a lot of traction.
Hmm.
I mean, especially if a fish can ever win anything during a series, that'd be great. Because that keeps them playing for months, and that keeps the momentum going in one way or another, right? But
Yeah,
if a series just kills all the fish, then you're just left in a. I mean, right now it's feeling pretty dry on MGM in February. Don't know how you guys feel about it, but that is definitely a trajectory we're living in.
yeah. MGM
Yeah,
definitely feels the regs seem to be getting better, and it seems also that the recreationals are sort of drying up. The C notes good still, but that's just because MGM's handing out C note tickets, right? So that's why
Yeah,
that's so good to their sports betting player base. But so that tournament's always going to be safe as long as they keep doing that. But when you start jumping up to the 250, the 500s, um, or like $100, maybe like C note turbo sometimes, it's you definitely notice the field is tougher for sure.
Yeah, it felt like before the merge with PA that the 250s and 500s were actually sometimes softer than like the C note or like the $50. You
Mm.
would just get like these whale guys who would just fire and like fire hard and just like punt stacks repeatedly. And there's been a very obvious absence of those people
Mhm.
lately. But you're also seeing an increase in players like me or not what's his name, Sensei on WSOP, John Ripnick playing like $50 and like playing lower stakes. John Millie's
Mhm.
playing $50 and stuff. I
Mhm.
seen him play a $30 PLO tournament during the day on Stars the other day. I'm like, what the heck? So you're just seeing an increase of like the higher echelon of guys playing lower stakes as well. So you're going to feel more effects of that.
Mhm.
So yeah, the ecosystem is it's definitely shifting in not the best way.
Do you think
Um,
sorry, Justin, just do you think like so the big difference between WSOP besides the software and MGM is the fact that mystery bounties are a thing on WSOP. What's your take on mystery bounties? Do you think that's better for the recreationals in terms of like staying in the games longer? Or do you think it bleeds them out faster? What's your sort of take on?
I think that they're really good for the game. I've I've grown to like them a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think that they draw a lot of attention to fish. The fish definitely love them. Recreational players love them. They love the opportunity. Like just like I was saying before, I really love the idea of a big score. All they have to do is make it near the money and bust
mhm.
one person. They don't even
Yep.
need to have a stack. They need to have 6 big blinds if the other guy has like 3 or whatever. And then they can win a quarter of the prize pool, right? It's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
It's
Yeah.
a unique
So
opinion because the old school guys tend to really like like it very vanilla. But to your point, yeah, recreationals love them, and like that fast late night mystery on WSOP is like
the
amazing,
softest
and
tournament on the entire schedule. It's the
it's it's
absolute softest.
it's
Yep.
softer than like some tens, like it's
Yeah.
so incredible. And I have to play it every night. Like it sucks because that it's so late, but
Yeah, you're just
it's
stuck
just
playing until 3:30.
yeah, it's just part of it. What was I saying? Yeah. I think that like what is so great is like when WSOP runs a circuit series, like the 250s and like, all of them, even the 1Ks are just drawing a lot of recreational players, which is, I think, amazing. And it goes to like, I think it speaks to what draws players into a tournament or a pool. I just don't think they're interested in dailies as much. I'm not saying dailies don't serve a purpose, but um, they love like the idea of like winning a ring or um, pulling a big fat mystery bounty. Like they like things I think get boring for recreationals pretty quickly, and
Right.
vanilla
And
doesn't
that's
like
why I
work.
think I agree completely. And I think that's why MGM has had a lot of success over PokerStars
Hmm.
over the past, I don't know, 18 months with like the implementation of like their Jersey series and stuff like that. Like that's pretty
Hmm.
cool. You get to win something. There's something going on more often. Oh,
Yeah,
sick.
he's got.
Mine I've got mine's in a frame next to my trophy case.
Oh, okay.
As tacky as that is.
I haven't acquired that much hardware, so but I'm sure one day I'll catch up.
You'll get there. I've got no doubts.
Hopefully.
If you play enough tournaments, you're gonna win enough tournaments to fill them. Don't worry.
Yeah.
For most people.
Um.
But yeah, I think that those kind of things definitely draw in more players, and I think I love that MGM is investing in their marketing scheme enough to like draw people in constantly. They want to have these small mini series, like even for the lower six people, they they take a lot of feedback from the players, especially in that Discord. They take it to heart and they're like, "Oh, you guys think that this was the winter series in January was too high stakes?" They throw in that gridiron series right afterwards
Hmm.
for they had one tournament of $100 and the rest were 50 or less. Like,
hmm
it's really sick. You don't see WSOP reacting to any player feedback like that, or Stars. I mean,
Yeah.
Stars just sent me a questionnaire with my asking for my feedback, but like all the guys that I talked to like didn't get who played mass volume. Like, I don't understand why 10% of the people are getting a survey and 90% aren't. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
it's
to
just
give MGM credit, it's so nice that people are responding in the Discord and actually like doing something about things. And I mean, the 25 RNA is a funny example where I kind of made a joke out of it, and there were some people that like brought up concerns about the tournament or things that they want changed, and they actually like addressed it and did something about it. And it's small, but it's like it really means something to the community. Like WSOP is so unresponsive,
Totally unresponsive,
and
actually.
players actually have very good points about some of the issues on the site, like having way too many people needed to register a tournament to get it started, and um, just certain things, I guess, that people have complaints about. They're just so unreceptive. PokerStars is doing the same thing now, but I think they're just going through some changes. um, I don't know
FanDuel poker,
if
baby. It's
FanDuel
coming
Poker, yeah.
at some point,
oh
right?
man, it's gonna be great for at least a month.
Well, let's be more
Hopefully longer
optimistic
than
than
that.
that.
No,
But
I know. I'm actually really excited for that to happen. I think it's gonna boom. It's gonna have a booming effect for foreseeable future. I think it's gonna last for at least 3 months, and then if they, invest in more of the marketing team and have more series and just have more consistent um events, or just ways to keep players engaged, then they will be more engaged and we'll have a better player pool. And
if they're giving their sports, like, to maybe to get their poker started, they start like giving their sports book whales like $250 tickets and above, like that would
yeah,
be
I don't know, man. Like, are they
wishful
incentivized to do
thinking.
that though, or are they incentivized them to like just keep playing more things that they have less edge in? Like, they don't make that much
Yeah,
from poker. Why not give them things that they make more money in? It just doesn't make sense, from a business perspective. Unfortunately for us.
it makes sense
I
from
think
our perspective.
Right.
I think just having the sports bettors, giving them the ability to access a poker site is good. Because right now, the way Stars is, it's just like pretty like there's no sports books attached. So like the only poker recreationals you get are like strictly poker recreationals or like casino fiends,
Right.
Um
They once had a sports book attached to it, right?
Fox Bet. Yeah, they had
Yeah,
Fox Bet.
and
Mhm.
that's when games were last good, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully they merge. I mean, I know
There's
Stars
definitely a
was getting
strong
a lot of
correlation.
I know Stars was getting a lot of hate and shit in the Discord. But, the second they rebrand or the second they announce that they're merging and they're coming out with like this massive series or whatever, people are gonna come back. People just play where the money is.
Yeah,
So
I know. I'm not at all worried about that. People don't have any loyalty to businesses or anything. If we know anything about people, they just always follow the money. So
yeah.
it's not
Human
Speaking
it's
of
not gonna be
nature.
any
which,
different this time.
do you play on Bet Rivers? That's legal in Michigan, right?
Yeah, it's legal in Michigan, and no, I can't play on there.
Ooh,
I am banned from Bet Rivers. I've tried to appeal my ban many times in the past 6 months, but um my girlfriend and I share a computer or whatever, and I was logged into my Venmo because I deposited um to their site with it. And
Mhm.
my girlfriend went on there to use her account. My Venmo was logged in. She accidentally deposited using my Venmo,
Mhm.
and apparently that's against the TOS, and both of our accounts were banned. Tried to appeal it.
wow.
Ouch.
Does your
That's a
girlfriend play poker
big
too?
L.
No, we were playing slots. There was like this. There
Oh,
was this. There was a beatable slot across all the websites that we were playing.
oh
So we
God.
were we were playing that last year.
A
That's
beatable
that's a lot
slot.
of
Uh-oh.
Missed out on
I
a
think
lot of potential there, man. I
yeah,
hear
that,
Bet
what's that?
I said I hear Bet Rivers is, like, pretty insane, like, insanely soft.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty sad. I'm forgoing a lot of EV for just a few $1,000s of money, but,
Yeah. Maybe
you know,
maybe H Corv can do something for you in in the Discord. Make
I've
a public
trust me,
appeal.
I've personally messaged him, a few times. We've had some
Oh, yeah?
conversations, and,
Okay.
seems like decisions are just final unless I can talk to someone higher up, but
I see.
it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I'll be okay.
So let's go back to 2021, 2022. You ship the Scoop main, the Michigan Scoop main. This is before the pools were merged. I know you said you had sold some action in that, but what was just that feeling like? Was that your biggest, I'm assuming it's your biggest score to date at that point?
Yeah, that was
Uh,
definitely my biggest score to date. Yeah, it was kind of, it was pretty validating. I've been putting a bit of work in. I think I was just using solvers for the first time, like, around
mhm,
that time for a few months. Um, but yeah, it was pretty validating, just felt really good. I It helped me, like, cement myself, like, helped me, like, get into a community with other players who were good,
mhm,
and it helped me grow my knowledge and my network within the poker community, which was fun and also just kind of enlightening, and it just opened a world kinda helped open a world to other players and just getting into the minds of others. That is always, like, very valuable when you're playing a game of information.
mhm. Yeah, Justin, you also won the Scoop main as well. That was New Jersey, Michigan.
Yep.
Did you have a similar experience where when you shipped it, you were able to talk to some more of the top guys in the pool? I know you got a lot of congratulations messages, but was your experience similar where you were able to like talk to these other guys who were also killing the games?
Uh, it's funny. Maybe I don't think that. I mean, I feel like for a while I was friends with, as you mentioned before, like uh Jake Ripnick, John Ripnick. Um, I was friends with like Drew. I felt like I had connections with a lot of guys in the community already when I won. Um,
Hmm.
I guess it felt good to um I don't know. I guess for me it gave me like one thing that the scoop win gave me was I don't know, just a trophy. No, it gave me a lot of like it felt really good because it was almost like for that it was like kind of this achievement that felt like at the time really helped validate my presence in the community. Like it almost at the time made me feel like I belonged playing poker.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people will struggle with, just the
mhm,
imposter syndrome of, like, "Okay, can I do this? Am I really good enough to play these stakes or these games? Am I really as good as these guys or not?" Like, it's a game
mhm.
that isn't very measurable in skill, so you
Yeah.
have to kind of measure in money and accolades or trophies, and that is just kind of like a benchmark you wanna hit.
Yeah, I remember wanting to win like before I won two scoop events. Like I wanted a trophy like so bad. I wanted a ring or a trophy. Like those things in my mind felt like glorious. And then like it feels good when you get them, but like all, that kind of fades away pretty quickly. Um and like but it's all about the chase. Like it's all about I guess the journey and the chase and everything. And you always like it's never like, "Oh, I want a bracelet, so I guess I'm good enough to just beat the games forever." It's a game where you constantly have to keep refining and improving, and there's ups and downs, and like you slip into bad habits sometimes, and Like those things are like they never go away. And like insecurities, right? Like I feel like I was like, oh, if I hit this achievement, then like those insecurities will go away, or I'm gonna feel like a good poker player. If I make this much money, then like I'll know I'm a good poker player and the swings won't affect me. And it's just not true. It's just like the mental and emotional game that you battle, it never goes away really. Like you're always having to manage the ups and downs as best you can and in the most positive and healthy way. And I think that's why like the best players and that players that I've looked up to, like they have such a grasp on their mental game, um, and how they approach poker. I think that's the most common attribute. Like you don't hear like the top guys are never like, you know, oh, I'm just so unlucky in this shit and like it's fucking rigged and they just don't speak like that. So um man, I'm going on a tangent here, but uh yeah, I guess
Yeah,
I made my
mental game
point.
is definitely a huge part of being successful. If you can't hold it together for, I mean, I think that some meltdowns are inevitable.
Hmm.
If you have to manage a really long downswing, then you are definitely going to be susceptible to a meltdown or two. But if you can't get over that during these periods of time of downers or whatever, then you're never going to be able to make it for sure. If you just succumb to the whim of, oh, I'm really unlucky, I'm going to
Hmm.
lose, and you just have this loser's mentality throughout that, then you'll do just that. You're always going to lose, I think.
Yeah,
Um
you really have to push through it. You have to just keep putting volume in, and it will break people. Like I've seen swings just break people, and they stop playing for a month, and then they kind of inch their way back, and you just have to keep playing. It's keep playing, keep studying, keep finding ways to get better, and try to keep it together. It's something that I've just think I'm a very emotional, hyper competitive guy, so I've just really struggled with with certain things even yesterday, which
yeah,
I told
can we
both of you
see
guys
it?
about.
Can you show us the window or
Let me
Turn that camera just a little bit there.
Yeah, I guess why not? Yeah, this happened yesterday. It's very embarrassing. This can't happen again. This panel didn't break, thankfully, but just the first
nice,
one.
dude.
I can't have the window right next to me because I just go like this.
I mean, at least the window
That's
knows
mad
how
about me.
strong you are now.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a few $100 right there. But yeah, I
Cut
mean
into
it's embarrassing
your
and like I
hourly there.
just I want to get better at that aspect as
I
well.
mean, maybe don't get it fixed if it's still like, is it still fine? You're not like, if rain comes, it's not gonna get inside your house?
Yeah, no, it's not.
You
It'll
can
be
maybe, like,
fine.
you could let it serve as a reminder of, like, "I can be better today." You know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a healthy reminder of, like, and that's just how you gotta learn how to laugh at yourself, like,
Hmm.
in that way, especially while you're playing. Like, the game is comedic. We're playing a game at the end of the day,
Yeah.
right? Like, you can just look over when you're mad, you're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm a
Hmm.
dumbass."
What's crazy is I won money last night. Like I had a
Right.
great day, and I broke the window on a great
But
day.
that's the thing about tournaments, you don't know you're gonna have a great day
Yeah.
until you
Yeah.
have a great day.
Yeah.
Things can suck and suck for fucking 6 to 8 hours until like, "Oh, cool, I saved the day and I'm up
Hmm.
5K." Big relief, but man, that was awful.
You've made
That
me
was
want to
really
break
fun
my
at the
window
end, but it was
multiple times, Stozy.
what's that?
You've made me want to break my window multiple times, man. You when we're blind v blind, I swear to God, dude, we'll be final two tables, and there's Stozy pops up on my left, and like I run into the fucking nuts every time blind v blind against this guy.
Yeah, I'm a really good wake-up player, just waking up in the blinds behind, like, "Oh, it's cute, some dude's all in for 10, you just jam 25 with, like, 9s or something." Guess who's got kings, like, every single time in the big blind?
To be fair, you've owned me though a few times. I remember in the nightly stars, I opened like Jack Queen O from the cutoff, and you had aces on the button, and you called, uh, and it folded. It was just us heads up, and I remember blocking like the straight or something. It went check check on the flop. You flopped a set of aces, and then I think he turned a boat, and then it went like check check. And on the river, I had like just an air ball, but I was blocking in the straight, and I blocked that, and then he raised like small. It's like a fuck Stozy. I just shipped it in on him, and he snapped me with the nuts.
Man, I want to pull
Um,
this hand up because I remember it slightly differently. I'm pretty sure it was like an EP open or like a +1 open. You're in cutoff and 3-bet like queen 6 or queen 8 suited. I can't remember which. Like
Probably
the
queen
rest
eight.
of the rest of the board texture was accurate, but I'm pretty sure I cold called your 3-bet, and then the action post flop was pretty similar. You block 3-bet jammed the river.
yeah.
That's how I remember it.
That's how I think he
It
exploits
wasn't
me.
that
He's
long
like,
ago. It was just a couple months ago. So
we could
my
look it up.
recall on
Yeah,
it's
I didn't have Jack Queen. You're right, because Jack Queen would have been the straight.
it would have been at least a pair on this board. So it was like a
Yeah,
ace queen 10 board or something like that, and you'd like
so bad.
Stozy knows his customer.
He knows my tendencies.
I mean, I just had aces full. It was not that hard to play.
Um. So, sorry. So getting back to your scoop win, Stoze. So when you went into the FT, were you like chip leading? What was like your tournament sort of
I think the
trajectory?
dynamic was I was second or third, but had like a pretty healthy like 40 big blind stack,
Mhm.
and I got the chip lead pretty early in the at the final table,
Mhm.
and I think I flatted a raise from the chip leader with queens on the button or something, and I flop a set of queens, and I got like almost the full double. I think I got the full double from him. He like flopped a gutter and like bluffed it off.
Mhm.
Um, and then from there, I just like asserted my aggression and accumulated and retained the chip lead throughout. It was without a lot of swings or anything like that. But
Nice.
the field really just let me win,
Okay.
honestly. There's a recording of it on YouTube I've watched semi recently, and I was just like, I want to know how I played back then comparatively, like, and there's a lot of things I think I would have done differently, just like a little more brushed up on ICM, like open jam spots or just re-steal spots.
Mhm.
Or I think the button jam like queen jack offsuit for like 16 bigs, and I called with like 5 people left as a chip leader with king queen offsuit, which I wouldn't do today.
Mhm.
I'm just like, oh, what a punt. But obviously I was good then, so it was a great decision.
Mhm.
But yeah, just it was pretty easy. Like the games were just a lot softer back then, right? Like
Mhm.
one of my friends, Andrew Corby, was at the final table, and he was like my toughest opponent then, and he's a PLO cash game player. So when the rest of the field is softer than him,
Yeah.
kind of speaks volumes about how easy it was comparatively to what, like, if we were playing it now, it'd be a different story.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
fields
to
have
your
definitely
point,
got
like my final table at Scoop had T Slate and then myself, and then T Slate. I was very fortunate that T Slate got like someone sucked out on T Slate all in pre, and then T Slate was gone, and then it
Yeah.
felt like possible. I'm like, okay, this is me and
And
7 recreationals now.
you had Tank Artist too. Tank Artist. Who was it?
He
Did you have
wasn't
Tank?
there.
No, he wasn't there. Okay. It was just T Slate,
he's
right?
Just
he's
T
always
Slate.
there.
He's always
I
there.
feel
You
like
and
Tank
T
Artist is
Slate.
always there, man.
Tank is there. He's so good. Um,
Yeah, he's gotten even better in the past year too.
yeah, got to try to keep up with these guys. Stozy.
It's tough, dude.
Um,
It's really, you got to work every day. And that's what keeps you driven though, is like these guys aren't getting worse. Like you can't get worse. Like
mhm.
either you have to be very smart. Like I watched these podcasts of like these high stakes pros like Justin Saliba. I was watching one of his do an interview of like, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, and so I've got to work a ton harder to stay at the level of these guys who are like phenoms or whatever.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
so that kind of mentality sticks with you. Like if you're not just the chosen one in the brain, then you have to keep working really hard to keep up with those guys who are very smart.
I mean, I don't think anybody's like chosen in the brain. I think there's some people that can process information and like way quicker than others, um, which is a skill to have, right? Like some people can just understand things and understand spots very quickly and also um, utilize that. I mean, and it's a game where people have different skills and um, different skills and flaws. Um, like some people have a really hard time adjusting to recreational players, and some people that's like one of their biggest skills. And then other people, those same players have a really hard time often making, you know, I guess higher EV plays and playing against regs. Um, I think like to speak to, I guess, Lucas. I mean, he's gotten really, really good, really fast, and um, his dedication is like very impressive, and how he studies and is, I think, like having an
You have
open
gotten good in the
mind.
past 6 months.
Thank you.
Big,
Thank
You
you.
have gotten quite good.
big compliments for Luke. But yeah, his ability to keep an open mind and really like what he studies and then is always actively trying to change his game. He never like sets. He's never like, I'm this type of player and this is how I play. I think that's the biggest thing that will hold you back in poker. Like if you are just open-minded to changing and changing frequently, then I think that's a recipe for success.
Yeah. Every table is a different environment. You have to just play optimally in each environment for sure. Um, but yeah, kind of what I'm saying, what I'm talking about, like being chosen in the brain is like similar to that. Is like some people are like just adept to all those things that make a good poker player, right? Like semi
Mm-hmm.
naturally. Like, um, say I have a semi photographic memory, but not like a pure photographic memory. Someone who has a
Mm-hmm.
pure photographic memory just can memorize all the charts and just have access to them all the time. Like
Yeah.
that is very like super valuable, right?
Yeah, I think in like the poker space, um you definitely have to like, and especially like as the pool gets bigger and you get some more top tier regs, um you have to just level up your game. You also have to be willing to, sort of like what Justin said, be willing to have an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
Um not being willing to adapt to your environment as well, because and especially the higher the reg to fish ratio gets, you're just going to have a lot more of these like sort of leveling wars, or I think he's doing this so I have to adjust, because in reality no one's really playing sort of like GTO. It's just sort of people think you're either too loose or too tight in like certain nodes, and people are just gonna sort of take advantage of that. And especially in 500s or 250s, when you're on, it's like 7 regs and 1 fish, you're gonna have to do a lot more adjusting, and people are gonna try to counter exploit what they perceive you to be as. So a
Yeah,
lot of that stuff
it's
plays off.
especially tough when you like do database analysis on like someone over a sample that is somewhat old too, because
Yeah.
as like you're a different player than you were this time last year. It's you've gotten better. So
Mm-hmm.
like your habits have changed, but if I'm using old information to like compare like how you play and I'm developing a strategy based off some of that information, then obviously you're adapting poorly.
Yeah.
Um,
You guys keep talking. I'll be right back.
we'll do that. But
Um, Yeah, but so what are some of your study habits? I know you mentioned solvers and stuff. Are you in the HRC streets? Are you just looking at GTO Wizard Sims, GTO Labs? What are your sort of go-to study tools that you like to
mostly
use?
just using GTO Wiz and we were using GTO Labs for a couple months, but we let that subscription lapse. It was pretty good. It was nice to have access to
Mhm.
ICM spots, but ultimately, I prefer using GTO Wiz. Is just slightly easier to use, and just I don't think it was necessary to have both. Um, but I don't know. I've always just been passively studying, no matter what. Just having a video on in the background and just trying to be a fly on the wall of people who I deem to be intelligent or have like unique thought processes that I might want to cling to.
Mhm.
Just having that constant flow of that is been really key for me.
Mechanics is
Um,
pretty good for that. Mechanics of poker, they have a lot of top tier, I mean, just cash PLO tournament regs.
yeah,
They're pretty good for that type of stuff.
but yeah, I just try to like stay within earshot of people who I deem to be pretty intelligent and just keep those
Mhm.
thought processes flowing so I can, maybe try to implement something into my game at some point.
Mhm.
But I spend a lot of time working with improving other people's games these days, so like I don't spend a whole lot of time on my own.
Mhm.
And frankly, I think it kind of shows and seeps into a little bit of lack of performance for myself, but I'm definitely finding unique spots that I wasn't familiar with before while just looking at some spots for my students. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I I'm definitely I'm just I'm looking at Sims like almost every day, but I'm not like I'm kind of fixating on one concept at a time, trying to develop a study plan for students to oversee, and just
Mhm.
kind of been doing that a lot lately. But I've been doing a lot of just like database analysis and trying to like pool certain player types accordingly and just how to um exploit those types of players. So
Yeah.
just been doing a lot of that kind of stuff.
I hear your spawn are running amok. You have a bit of a CFP thing going on or a little Stozy stable. How's that
Yeah,
been going for you?
it, it's going pretty well. I think we're up quite a bit in the first we just started in like early November. I think
Mhm.
we're up just under 100K collectively, so pretty
Mhm.
decent start. Um had a little setback during the MGM series. I think everyone kind of got spanked, but um outside of that, it's been pretty successful. Everyone's getting along well. It's just a really cool environment to be a part of so far. So
Yeah.
I'm like working with a lot of guys who are really enthusiastic, intelligent, and just like kind of are just like me, just want to be a fly on the wall and always absorb and always get better. And they're just really
Mhm.
hungry and good dudes. So really happy with how things are going so far.
For anyone who might be interested, where do you most of your, horses, like, normally start and, like, sort of where have they gotten to so far?
Where do they start?
Yeah, in terms of, like,
Uh,
buy-ins or, um, how have you, like, helped them? I mean, spot checking, giving feedback, but, like, you know, where have they started and, like, sort of where are they now type of thing?
like how they develop throughout this process,
Yeah,
or
and, like, how are they playing bigger? They're being more competitive in, like, the bigger buy-ins, that type of thing?
yeah, most of the guys like we started off at like most of them started at like hundreds or lower, so not like super low or anything.
Mhm,
Um, and a couple of them are playing like a few of them are playing like 500s now, semi
mhm,
regularly.
mhm,
Um, but I mean, we're having the most success in the Cino, I want to say overall. I mean, that's not to be anyone's surprise, but
mhm,
um, yeah, I think a lot of these guys had a really good baseline, so I was we were pretty selective in that regard.
mhm,
Um, but we've really just been honing in on a lot of ICM models that they're playing spots that they never in ways that they never would have thought to before. They would play way too many flats or not enough three bets, and they didn't know they could jam certain spots. But yeah, a couple of these guys were just lost without a paddle in some spots too. Some of the lower stakes guys, and they could never dream of playing as aggressively as like we're letting them play now. And they're just like, wow, this is a whole new world, and they just love it.
uh-huh.
Um, But yeah, we have an array of player types. Like some
Mhm.
guys are just kind of not ever going to be GTO oriented. They are
Mhm.
going to just be do their own. So they've been a special chore for me to kind of rein it in and try to tighten it up a little bit because they just do some really gangster stuff. I'm not going to
Mhm.
name any names, but
Well,
they know who they are.
You know who you are.
there's Lucas and I were staking or backing someone to a degree, buying action. Um, it's like sometimes if whatever they're doing is working, you just kind of have to bite your lip a little bit.
Right, and that's kind of where we're at too. Like,
Hmm.
I work with two other coaches as well. Like one, my buddy Frank and his friend who lives in Vegas, Mark, and they're just like, "Don't mess with the Colonel's recipe," and I'm just like,
Hmm.
"But he could be so much better." But he's like, "If it's not broke, don't fix it, man. Just let him be himself." I'm like, "Okay,"
Yeah,
because
because some
I
people
want
just
everyone to
have their style.
be me. I want
Yeah.
everyone to play exactly like me, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But some people you can't change them too much, otherwise, A, they're
The
not
whole
gonna either
thing
love the
breaks down.
game. Yeah, their
Mhm.
identity is just not null and
Yeah.
void, so, um
The classic one is, like, you tell someone they have to RFI more from all these positions, but they're still not c-betting enough, so they're just, like, more dead money out there.
right.
Yeah.
Oh god. Some people love it, though, like, I mean, that's most people's leak in general, right? It's just, like,
Yeah, just not c-betting
deep.
enough. It was one of mine, yeah. Um, I
Future
wanna
game.
ask you about, sort of sort of an ICM model slash FGS. I've talked to a lot of friends, and you've brought up Future Game more than once. Um, what's your how much of that do you, like, implement? I know it's pretty sort of becoming more trendy, um, to take into account, like, not just what happens after the end of this hand, but taking into account, like, where your stack is relative to others at the FT, um, FT dynamics, that type of thing. Skill edge might be a consideration as well. How do you take what's your sort of approach to that? And especially in a regulated pool where it's going to be softer than usual, so you have to, especially skill edge becomes like a big consideration.
Do I have to say? Um,
You don't have to.
yeah,
You don't
I
have
mean, I just edge pass a ton,
okay.
and I have the utmost confidence that someone's gonna make a lot bigger mistake in the future in a lot of relative spots, and you're
Hmm.
I'm gonna fold a lot of hands that people would be shocked to know that I'm folding in certain spots that
Yeah.
you might call it illegal. Just fold and don't tell anyone applies to me a lot.
Hmm.
Um, because there are just it's all gonna be relative on who's left in the field, right? Like if it's just
Hmm.
a reg fest and a 500 or something, there,
Take the
that
spot.
that it doesn't exist. You
Hmm.
take the spot.
Hmm.
Hmm.
For the most part, there's a few exceptions, of course, but like in a soft 250, there's three fish at the table. I'm just passing on like a relatively snug guy three bets me, and I have jacks, and there's like 11 people left, and we're like 30 effective. Like there's some people you just fold jacks to, and you
Hmm.
fold ace queen to, and you just fucking move on.
Move on.
I gotta
Yeah.
get better at that.
I've
But
um I've thought about this more recently, actually, sort of, especially when it's a reg on. So, like, let's say the scenarios there's like four regs and there's three fish at the FT, or like pretty high reg to fit or fish to reg ratio. Um, and you kind of get into this prisoner's dilemma, like when you have like these reg versus reg encounters, because the other reg also doesn't want to take a high variance spot when this FT is like so soft, right? So it's sort of
Right.
like whoever takes the most aggressive action last, kind of.
Yeah,
And
exactly. And it sucks because it's always like the thing is, like, I don't think that some of the elite guys think like this somehow. I don't know how they don't think like this. I think they
I
do on some level for sure.
I
But
agree with
like
you there. Yeah.
you don't see you don't see John Milley or Ripnick or Shaka Bras just like backing down in any spot. You're
Yeah.
just like, this guy is always putting more chips in, and why? Can't we
Yeah.
just like handshake this one out and like take the
Yeah,
fish's money?
it's
Like, are
not
you
beneficial to either one of us really. We're just, all the
like
recreationals are just make so many mistakes.
I'm
So
like,
yeah, I've been thinking
what
about that more though. And certain guys like they're just not, they don't really, I don't know. So, they're either too rich to care or they just want to play the game as they think it's meant to be played in a sense.
right?
Lucas, you and I talked
Yeah,
about like um recently, like navigating soft fields and like when paying attention more to like really all these spots that like I thought I had to take because in theory this is a call, or in theory this is a 4-bet jam. It's like letting go of that and just navigating like a softer field is
Yeah,
something that is a huge underrated skill in poker, I think.
yeah,
And it's like I'll point to guys like Locks on Bagel or Linead.
yeah,
Um, he's so good at like he's not, he will admit himself like he's doesn't really study theory much, but he's just so good at navigating his way through tournaments and like
hmm,
different softer lineups. It's a humongous skill. It's like, but you hear people say all the time, well, oh, I have jacks, I have to 4-bet jam here, I have ace queen, like, and this is hijack versus cutoff or something, I have to 4-bet rip. Like, you
yeah,
really don't have to do anything. Like, what do you
yeah.
think is going to get you to the end of the tournament, I guess, is what Stozy does. Steven does very well.
Yeah,
yeah. I
once you
mean,
get out of the
sometimes our incentives are just to play smaller pots because like this playing this hand correctly may merit like warrant like give you some like small amount of EV right now, but finding a really higher EV spot that you're inevitably going to get for someone else later is worth way more. So
Mm,
why risk a lot or risk anything for a little bit
mm.
when you can are almost assured a higher percentage of more later? It's just
yeah,
simple economic sense to me.
yeah,
But sometimes those situations don't exist, right? Sometimes
yeah.
you're just like
Sometimes all regs and
you're fighting tooth and nail for every single edge, and
yeah, um, yeah. But it's going to be interesting because I think like MTT solvers especially um are coming out with new equity models. FGS is probably the best thing we have. It's pretty intensive in terms of like the hardware you need and like how long it takes to run a spot. And especially if you want to run it for like a full orbit, it's like unless you have really top line stuff, it can be almost impossible. Um,
yeah, I have no
but yeah,
interest in
also
doing that.
taking into account stuff like stuff that solver doesn't take into account is like what if this guy's more passive post flop, like how should we be adjusting? And a lot of it's just brain solving at the moment. Like you think you have these adjustments to make, or if you're up against, for example, like a shocker bras or a spit and chiclet, you know that the guy's gonna bet flop and turn with his whole range, so
Yeah,
you're gonna way under realize, so you have to adjust versus that. And at the moment, there's no clear like sort of model that takes into account these types of things. It's just a lot of sort of brain solving and like thinking of how you should adjust. So yeah, I think
just get the flops and turns a lot stronger than you're supposed to.
yeah.
Everything
Um,
easy.
so yeah, it's I think like MTT solvers is probably like the last maybe one of the last frontiers of like poker solvers in terms of like finding a model that like most accurately represents how to make the most money in a certain spot, taking into account not only future game but also if a player, solving pre-flop with post-flop tendencies is a big one. Um, so yeah, that's my sort of little rant there. But
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we have a long way to go in that regard. I don't think we're gonna have anything perfect in the next 5 or 10 years. So
I don't think
it's
it'll
gonna be
ever
the
be
Wild West for
perfect.
a while.
yeah,
What's that?
I don't think it'll ever be like perfect. I think AI is a tool, um, but it's like I don't poker's because poker is a game of like incomplete information. It's gonna be hard to like. I don't think it'll ever be like chess in that regard. Where
No,
chess
because
is
like
just
even when we node lock, we were gonna operate on assumptions only. Like
guesses.
yeah.
Yep, guessing. Yep.
we can have a million hands with you, and you still might do something different. Your strategy might have changed
Hmm.
this week over last week. So how good is my assumption?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
I want to move on to WSOP and rings. Have you won a ring yet, Stozy? Are you still
I
working
just
towards
won.
that?
I won one last week, actually.
oh really?
Which one did you
Yeah, it
ship?
was the Monday night 100K 320 for like
Oh, is that a
27K.
six pack?
I don't remember. I don't think so,
Okay.
but it was extra sweet because um the 1K on MGM in September, October, I ended up finishing runner up to Cherish Andrews, and I happened to get heads up with her in this ring event, and I got to sun run the shit out of her. So um but
Nice,
Well,
man. Congrats.
it felt like a little bit of redemption because
mhm,
we played a very quick heads up match in the 1K. I think it lasted 4 or 5 hands, and pretty much the same thing ended in similar fashion in this one. So,
mhm. What was
but
what was, I guess, sort of your journey on the FT?
I was in, I think I was two of nine to start,
Mhm.
2 or 3, and Cherish had the big stack, the most of the final table. It was kind of me and, oh boy, let me just, I forget his name. He's like a something Coleman, David Coleman, I think.
Okay.
He's kind of like, he plays a lot of like the PGT high rollers and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, Me, him, and her had all the chips, but I think she had like 90 bigs, and we each had like 45, and the rest had like 20.
Ooh,
So
that's
just
rough.
kind of just navigating this. Like, she was
Yeah.
to my right, luckily, so I had like the best seat.
Mhm.
Um,
Seat draw's very
but
important.
yeah, absolutely. But she was just doing her thing, and I just kind of stayed out of her way for the most part, and was able was able to get a few opens, just a lot of uncontested pots, and just kind of like maintained for a while. Then we get down to like four-handed, and I get kings versus queens versus David Coleman, cripple him, and the rest is just, it was very simple final table for me. Just got a lot of my opens through, got a few 3-bet bluffs through, like first late position,
Mhm.
and just a couple of re-steals with like ace deuce offsuit and shit. But aside from that, it was very simple. Just stay out of her way, stay out of trouble.
Mhm.
I think I won a flip ace king versus jacks to knock someone out like in sixth, and then got kings versus queens, flopped a king, not even a sweat, and then heads up I got it all in nines versus ace deuce, I think, and just I think I flopped a set, and she was just dead on the turn. So it
Lovely.
was very Stozy sun run kind of tournament for me.
Yeah.
Dozy Sun
I
Run.
I
Stozy
had a lot of
Sunrun.
I had interesting spots leading up to the final table, but the final table was like pretty cut and dried, boring for me. So,
Mhm. You think is that your biggest like poker accomplishment, would you say, to
I
date?
mean, I've got 4 other rings prior
Mhm.
to that, but this is my first one since the merge with Nevada.
Hmm.
So if that it definitely felt like getting a monkey off my back for sure, because we all know how volatile playing on WSOP can be. But
Yeah.
no,
Swingy.
my biggest score online was, I won a bracelet right before we merged with. Were we merged with New Jersey yet? I don't think we were. It was like a 1K bracelet one off in October in 2023
Mhm.
for 56K, and then it was like a mystery bounty, by the way. It might be why I don't have too much disdain for mystery
I love
bounties,
mystery
but
bounty. I don't really hate them. So
I like them too.
uh,
you got all love in here, boss. You preach to the
nice.
choir.
But that 1K I finished runner up to Cherish, I think, was also for like 56 or 57K. So those are my two biggest online scores. But I've had some live success as well. I've I finished third in a bracelet in 2023 as well for like 125K.
Nice.
Oh,
Awesome.
it was like a $600 double stack or something.
That's a deep run. That's a
And
really deep run.
then yeah, there was like 4,200 runners. And then the next week I finished 12th in a 2,500 uh for I don't know, 37 or something. Both of which were like pretty much halted by aces versus jacks all in free for the chip lead.
Ouch.
It was
Never a
very
good
brutal.
feeling. Um,
Um,
do
but yeah.
you do you like how do you mix your online with your live schedule? Is it just like during WSOP, you're out in
Um,
Vegas, or is it not really too much of a priority for you?
Playing live isn't that big of a priority to me. Obviously, like I like to change it up once in a while. Um, but it's not really cost effective in terms
Mhm,
of travel and expenses and um you have to play pretty high stakes for your ROI to like match these expenses and
Mhm.
mhm,
I don't really have that much interest in playing 25Ks or anything like that. So
mhm.
I'm not exactly Frank Fenraro yet. So
Well, it's funny.
but
We
yeah, I
talked
mean
to him
yeah,
Monday,
I know that's why
and
I mentioned him because you said you guys spoke to him recently, which I
yeah,
think is cool.
he's definitely prioritizing like those bigger live MTTs. Like I think that's what he really enjoys doing and where he wants to find more success. But online for most people is like the bread and butter, and then like you mix it up with some live stuff. For the most part. Um, I mean, for
Yeah,
me,
Yeah,
I really enjoy just having the information in front of me. It's sometimes it's fun to like, you know, meet some new people and acquire information about them, and the social aspect is obviously cool, a nice component for it as well. But I'm always socializing online. I've got a Discord group. I've got a million people I'm talking to every day, like in between, like on breaks and stuff. So like, I
mhm,
feel like I'm socializing while I'm playing pretty actively. So like, I don't feel deficient in that regard. Like some people might. Like I know some guys are like lone wolves when they're online, but I just talk. I'm talking to people all the time.
that's good.
But yeah,
he,
I really like I'm sorry.
you're so nice to me. Like, I'll Discord him. I'll be like, "Motherfucker had it again" or something, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy." I'm like, "Come on, say something mean to me."
You fucking suck. You punted it off. I'm just gonna tell you, you punted every time. I could be
Damn,
brutally
man.
honest with you, but I'm just like, good job, man. Keep trying.
You gotta keep the fish happy.
That's it.
Yeah, so for us, like, New Jersey guys, we have, like, a lot of casinos, like, readily accessible for us,
Yeah,
you know.
that's another thing that's kind of attributes to like the lack of live play for me. Like I'm considering going to play, kill me now, a $400 tournament tomorrow in Ohio.
Wow,
It's
down
it's a
bad.
Yeah.
I'm being kind of like coerced by people in so for social purposes, I guess.
I see.
Um, but it's called a Team Michigan Poker tournament series that has been going on. This is their main event. It's like a $1 million guarantee,
Oh,
Wow.
and it's
Okay.
Toledo is like an hour and 20 minutes away from me, so not too bad.
oh,
But yeah,
okay.
outside of that, we don't have a lot of access. We don't have a Borgata to just like jump to and just be like, oh, you guys are having a tournament series like every month. Must be nice.
Have you ever been to New
We
Jersey?
did for. I'm sorry.
Have you ever been
Have
to New Jersey?
no.
You
I mean,
gotta
Okay.
I
get you
was
out
in the
here for
airport once
experience.
for a layover, but no, I haven't like been
Well, sorry to cut
across
you
New
off on your
Jersey.
story. I'm interested in hearing the rest of what you were saying.
Oh, we have a casino called Motor City, which is like adjacent to the MGM we have, and
Mhm.
they had a tournament series going on for a while, but they had an issue with their dealers. Like their dealers were pissed off because they weren't making enough. They were getting pulled off their table games to deal this stupid poker tournament,
Mhm.
and so due to that, they outsourced the dealers from like the traveling dealer union or whatever exists for like tournaments, and they were pissed about that, and they were just like, "They took our jobs," and kind of stuff, and I'm just like, "Well, then they just canceled it because they were like, dealers were pissed and no one was happy, and"
Mhm.
oh, they went on a dealer strike, actually, due to this. Since they weren't
Dealer
being used,
strike,
they went on a dealer strike, so they were like, "Alright, no more tournament at all." So they had a decent tournament series going on for a while, which I think I only played one event because I wasn't, I don't know, for whatever reason, I wasn't playing it, but
mhm.
it seemed to be very successful, but now there is just nothing at all for us, so there's no live poker for me unless even WSOP is just it's not very cost effective when I could just be playing online every day.
And they have a
You get
whole ring schedule online now too, so it's like, you know, you really have to love the grind, I guess, to be out in Vegas all summer, like grinding every event. Um, so I guess I
Yeah.
agree with you there. I think most people would agree that it's just much more better. It's much better to just grind online for all those.
Yeah, I know some guys who are, like, probably better than me at poker, like Chris Moon used to be an online grinder, and now he is just he loves to chase the live scores, the big scores, the guaranteed really soft fields, I guess. I'm not sure what, draws him, but, guys like that will just, like, travel the circuit, they go to Wisconsin, go to Hammond, Indiana, go to Ohio, and just play, like, the MSPT. You guys don't get that stuff, do you? You guys get MSPTs going through, New Jersey at all?
No,
No. We had our
doesn't
first
sound
ring
familiar.
event in a while down at the Harrah's,
Okay.
uh, last summer. That came back, but, besides that, no.
You guys get, like, Poker Stars tournaments as well, or is that in PA?
Philly, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's, like,
And
It's close to us
pretty
though.
close. It's pretty close, yeah, like, it's a state over, but it's, like, an hour and a half drive from, like I
Mhm.
live in North Jersey. So yeah, like, I have access to, like, 3 or 4 different casinos that run tournament series, like, pretty often, and for me, the commitment is, like, an hour to an hour and a half drive. If I'm going to AC, it's 2 hours, but
okay. Yeah, all only thing that we get here in Michigan that is, like, somewhat prominent is the MSPT in Battle Creek, which is, for me, like, a 2-hour and 45-minute drive. It's not the end of the world, but it's only twice
Mhm.
a year.
Yeah.
It's an 1100 that has, like, it usually gets, like, 300K up top or so. So, it's really
Uh-huh.
juicy and very soft, but, again, my ROI, I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe it's 100%. Um, is it really worth it for me to potentially take multiple days off of playing online for it? Probably
Mhm.
not. Like,
Yeah.
I could easily have 30K in buy-ins through those 4 days and just have an ROI of 25% and make more as much or more money than my expectation in a 1K, right? A live 1K.
Yeah, there's something to speak to that, and it's important to think in terms of where you're making the most money. But also like
"Okay, I
we
love you,
all
bye." No, sorry, girlfriend's
hi
leaving to pick
Stozy's
up.
girlfriend. Um
Mm.
there's also like, you know, I think it's good to also remember like we are just playing a game and sometimes like making decisions that are going to fulfill you from a different perspective is good. Like I remember when Harris ran their circuit series, like by no means was it the most profitable decision to just go there for a week and play the events, but it was really, really fun. And like, I don't regret it at all. It was a fulfilling poker experience for me.
Yeah,
So,
you always have to account
you know,
for life EV as well. You have to have a balance of life EV versus just doing things purely for money, right?
yeah, being a
Yeah.
robot all the time.
That's the way I see live events too. It's more of like a fun type of thing. See if we can make a run in something, see how it
Right. I mean,
goes.
that's why I'm considering I'm leaning like 70-30 gonna go to play this 400 tomorrow because I haven't played a live tournament um shit since 2024. Yeah. In the fall of 2024 was the last live tournament I played. So making an appearance, just being social, just you know, touching
Yeah.
some grass a little more often is always good, even if it's just rubbing shoulders with a bunch of greasy grinders.
I love Six
Uh,
Max live events. Six Max live events are the best. You get all that
That sounds
space at the
amazing.
table.
I've never played one. That sounds
It's
great
so
though.
good. The pace
you
is
got to fly out
better.
to the Borgata. If you ever come out to the Borgata for one of their like winter series, summer series, spring, whatever, let us know.
Yeah, you guys
You
have a lot of
should.
cool formats. I might have to come out there.
You can bring a laptop too, so you bust an event, you go
Oh,
play on your computer.
yeah, I can do the Chrome King just like is playing 8 tables while playing live tournaments over there from what I heard.
Oh really? Oh wow.
Yeah.
I wait. I have to hear this story. What he's playing like on his phone or like on his computer?
No, he's got a laptop. He's just got a laptop at the table and he's just playing like 8 tournaments while playing live
I hate
tournaments.
that.
So,
That's like a really bad look. That's just
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
that's.
like one tabling on your phone if there's like a ring event or whatever, I get it. But
Mm.
wow, eight
just
tabling on a laptop while you're playing live is a choice.
I also don't think that's a good look to recreationals. Like I don't think that's very engaging. Like, you have to think
yeah, I
about
mean,
the perspective of like someone who's coming there to like play poker for fun, and you see like this mass grinder like just completely unfocused and unengaged doing something like that.
yeah, well, everyone's goals are different. So, I mean, maybe he doesn't care about
Yeah.
satisfying these recs at all. He's just like, I'm playing tournaments, man. I just here to maximize. I don't give a shit. So like
Yeah.
to each their own, I guess. But I I didn't see this firsthand, by the way. This is all from word of mouth. But during the last fantasy series, someone was just like, "Dude, you wouldn't believe what I just saw." And it was just Chrome King just mass multi-tabling on a laptop while playing the
Oh,
live event.
brother.
It was like a live 300 or 400 that day. I'm like, what the fuck? Who wants it more? But that
Fair
guy's a
enough.
beast.
Um, so Stozy, I did some sleuthing. You like to
Oh,
play hockey.
I do play the hockey sometimes. Yeah.
How'd you
Uh,
get into that? Did you start in high school when you were younger?
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Yeah, you're good.
I have 3 dogs and they're all scratching at my door and they're not going to stop scratching until I let them in. Um, I got into hockey when I was a kid, kind of like, I guess similar to the Moneymaker boom.
Hmm.
The Red Wings were good in like 97, 98. They were like one of the best teams. They won the cup, won the Stanley Cup in those years. So I think just kind of caught fire in my family or around my friend group and kind of ran with it. Um, my brother was obsessed with it. Like he would be the kid who like this is before you could like you could save things to your console or whatever. It didn't have like a built-in memory card. He every night we would play Sega, like NHL 94, 95 on Sega. He would create all of our friends, put them on a team. Every single night, he would create a team with all of us. I would sleep, and he would wake me up when he's done, and we would just play NHL like with all of our friends group. Like he was insane, but mostly just follow my big brother around.
Hmm.
That's how I got into hockey and played ice for a couple years, and then parents didn't want to pay for it, and eventually just started again when I was like 14, got my own job and was able to pay for my own hockey stuff. So been playing pretty much ever since. I had a couple injuries in between, but yeah, I play in like a traveling roller hockey league right now with my friends. It's kind of like a traveling beer league that like travels to um Indy and Pittsburgh and Buffalo and just the Midwest areas. So we play like 4 tournaments every year from like December until May.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. It keeps me from getting too fat from being like this online blob who just sits at his computer all day. So it gives me a reason to like not be super fat. So
Yeah. Do you think what is poker like sort of helped you in terms of like mental game? Because I've found that poker has helped me in other areas of life. I feel like when it comes to like managing emotions or like seeing things from like a sort of like an EV kind of perspective, you know? So like in
Yeah,
hockey, when you're lucky or unlucky, like do you think of it like that way too? Like, oh, like that was a high EV spot, like that was a good shot, or like, you know, like you have a 2-on-1 break or whatever, like that type of
yeah,
thing?
I think poker seeps into my life a lot like that, and sometimes too much because we are human beings, and it's sometimes cool to just think emotionally instead of robotically, instead of like
Hmm.
weighing EV or like potential outcomes. But I do think of things in like, all right, 60% of the time this is going to work out really well versus 40%, or like, and you really just think steps ahead a lot, right? And just future game simulations of like everything that happens in life. And it does seep in that way. And sometimes it's for the better, sometimes it's like, dude, just be a human, it's okay.
Yeah.
But in hockey you definitely have a little bit more foresight, and it does help me calculate and just like be more methodical in that regard for sure.
Hmm.
It definitely changed the way I look at sports, like especially NFL. I think that like your casual sports watcher NFL fan doesn't understand how much variance there is in like in that sport specifically. Um and like how teams can go on good runs and get really lucky, especially with everything with like penalties and stuff. Like I feel like now when I watch football, it's almost coming from sort of a poker mindset. Like, oh, this team ran really, really good in this way, or this team ran really bad in this way. And it's like, sure, there's a lot of edge to gain, but also like the Patriots ran so good to make it to the Super Bowl this year. And
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
you know,
Strength of schedule, and then
Bo Nix getting
th-
injured, like,
yeah, there's just a myriad of factors that always like weigh into things happening this way, right? But it kind of like takes away the magic to think about things that way, though, right? Like the
it
magic you
does.
used to think about sports as a kid, you're like, man, this is so fascinating. But then you start really just breaking it down by this and this and this, and well, that was not as fun anymore. It's
It's not.
sports science alone has kind of like ruined the magic of sports, right? Like the way that analytics work, and it just kind of just I don't know. It ruins it for me. I don't love sports nearly as much as I used to. I used to be one of the kids who just come home from school, turn on ESPN, watch everything that happened throughout the day, and now I'm just like, no, I don't want to hear the analytics behind it.
I'm actually sort of a contrarian, I think, because I think the the access to information, I feel like what happens very often, so like I come from a chess background, and chess was like one of those things when Kasparov played Deep Blue, everyone was like, computers can never beat humans, and this is in like the 90s. Computers will never beat humans, never be better than humans. They don't have the creativity, they don't have the power. And the computer eventually beat Kasparov, who was the world champion at the time. And as time progressed, the computer still wasn't really good enough. And it wasn't until really like the 2010s in where chess like really people would just had to be reliant on it. It's like you can no longer really fight with the computer. And it sort of was an era in chess where people kind of just gave in to the computer in a sense. They were like, okay, it just knows what it's doing, so you just have to follow. It's sort of similar to poker, right? Like when
Right.
solvers first came out, people were just like, you have to do this because the machine says you have to do this.
Hmm.
Sure.
And then eventually now we're sort of in a stage in like in chess where like the computer's so good that a lot of openings or a lot of things that were thought to be bad are actually not as bad. They're actually quite playable. And it leads to sort of more it allows for more ingenuity and more creativity in the sense that you can do things that you thought were not previously possible. Um, so I think you're sort of a shift in solvers in poker, and I think you're also going to start to see this in like sports. A similar shift is going to happen where you've already seen it in poker, right? Like people are no longer like slaves to the sim, or anyone who's good at least is not a slave to the sim. Um, uh, you're going to see more like offbeat things because you're not trying to necessarily maximize EV. You're trying to if the counter exploit is like really difficult, then you're just going to do that more because they're not going to find the counter exploit. Or in sports, like fourth down conversions, in the NFL where it previously were like, oh, well, you really shouldn't do that. But if you have a good fourth down conversion, you should probably take it. I think you're going to see a lot more creativity with the analytics as time goes on.
Okay.
And I think that's an area where I think a lot of well, especially where analytics is involved in statistics, you're going to see a bit more of this is people are going to try to be more creative with the information they're given instead of like just following it blindly.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it is pretty interesting. Like, I guess like even in hockey, like people never used to pull a goalie with like anything over 3 minutes left in the game, but now you'll see like teams pull a goalie with like 8 minutes left in the third period. And it's like, what the hell? You've never seen that before. But like, there's underlying stats to like
Back it
um
up.
kind of back up like this could be good.
Yeah. I think it can lead to more interesting outcomes and more like sort of what you said in that sense. Fourth down, I think in the NFL has teams go for it more often, leads to a bit more excitement in that sense. Um, some teams like the Lions, I think Justin, you're more of the NFL junkie than I am, but like the Lions, they go for it a lot on fourth down. Um,
Sometimes appropriately, sometimes inappropriately.
yeah.
They're
Um,
very aggressive.
yeah. So I think you're going to see a lot more of this in all realms, just not only in s- uh poker, but in like sports and
To go back to like Stozy's future game thing, one of the big analytics that a lot of teams make mistakes in is like if you're in the goal line, like if you're on like the 5 yard line in a 0-0 game and it's fourth down, it's so much better to go for the touchdown than to kick the field goal. And this goes to like, even if you miss the touchdown, they're pinned really in horrible territory where teams perform poorly, backed up that far. And then oftentimes, if you stop them, you get the ball back in really good field position, and there's a chance at a safety. So there's all of those future game things that people don't think about. And try to explain it to my dad, who's screaming at the TV, "Take the fucking points." Um, he doesn't understand, but
yeah. So
yeah. So
it's things
there's
like that, and like especially in football, right? Like even if like even getting points on the board, right? It's going to force the opponent to chase and it might force them to make more aggressive decisions, which might lead them to leaking some points towards you in terms of EV and that type of stuff, right? So, yeah, it's sort of interesting the way you can think about things in all aspects. I mean, even the stock market, all these types of things where gamblers have made their ways into infiltrated their way into these different industries.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just to my point. I was just saying that ignorance is some is very blissful for sure. Like this, the old adage is so true. Sometimes though, it's just like you don't always want to think like analytically about everything. You
Hmm.
want to just let some things be somewhat unknown and whimsical in that regard. And
Hmm.
I sometimes feel like I wish my analytical brain wouldn't always be on. I just want to be able to turn it off and just be like, okay, let's enjoy something for not knowing what it's going to be or what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
I think when solvers first came out, a lot of people were scared that poker would become more of a memorization game, like just memorizing what to do in this spot and what to do in that spot. And surprisingly, like it's like they definitely enhanced um, the knowledge of and influenced the game and what we all do now. But there are definitely ways to like it taught us that like okay, like there are ways to get creative and nobody's going to be able to like mimic this machine, and there's ways to exploit and to make different decisions. But it goes back one time. Stozy threw, I think, a fish at me and did the haha on WSOP. I I'll do this thing like in very soft tournaments where I'll just like limp under the gun or +1, like with an array of hands, just because you open and get called 7 ways. I'd rather have the ability to reopen the action. I think I limped Stozy ISO and I just like back jammed pocket sevens like chip EV. Um, and you called with like ace king, and I remember feeling embarrassment at the computer. I'm like, I wish he wasn't at this table.
Yeah, but that's another like sort of example of like, and like limping is I think gonna become only more prevalent as like a sort of a serious strategy. I don't know how long it's gonna take for it to like totally overcome, like become like a new sort of meta.
Mm,
But it's definitely been used by like MDA stables, like or like for live cash, even some online cash guys do it. Um, just the idea that like regs don't really know how to appropriately ISO, and no one really knows what to do. And you
mm-hmm.
can really take advantage of that. So like again, and sort of going back, like
Yeah,
analytics different enough for this creativity. So
yeah, I like that kind of stuff. Honestly, like
yeah.
I used to do a lot more of that than I do now. I'm a little more boring and have more simple strategies, I think, than I used
Mhm.
to. But I'm sorry that I hurt you so much there, Justin, that you have all these horror stories of playing at a table with me. They just
My
really
only
stuck with you.
my only Stozy horror stories are just losing a flip after I max something out. That's normally how the end of my story.
Yeah, you're just a normal you're just a normal casualty. Sorry there, Lucas.
Yeah,
Just
one of the
it's
many.
This
one
is
of the
a lot
many
of
to
trauma
fall in
bonding
my
going
wake.
on here.
All right,
That's funny.
Stozy, this was fun. Thank you for coming on, sharing your knowledge, your insights, getting to pick your brain a little bit.
Yeah, thank you for
Um,
having me, guys. It was fun.
awesome. Talk to you next time.
Anything else you want to say? Hi to mom and dad.
I appreciate you guys having me on, and I think that you guys should play the scoop fantasy scoop when it comes around.
Yes, actually, hold on. New topic. Stozy,
I know we
you
didn't get
are
into scoop, we didn't get into fantasy, so like,
you are really great for running that thing. I've lost $500 to that, but it is fun. Uh, I will say my team this time around wasn't as fun. Not so much camaraderie and communication, but when you have the right people around you, it can be a lot of fun and a lot of really like motivating, honestly, like fire, because you're not just firing for yourself, you're firing for like your team,
yeah, I mean, like sometimes you got to take control of that situation and be the hype guy for the team.
Yeah, yeah,
It can't hurt.
yeah.
But yeah, like I don't want to run it, by the way. Like I'm happy to do because I love to play it so much, and
Yeah.
it's a really it's one of those extrinsic motivators that I need to keep me grinding and keep me happy. So I'm grateful to have the support of like White Smith and even like Mike Yeager when he was around. Like
Mm-hmm.
he just handed it over to me, and I'm just running it because I have to. Otherwise, no one's gonna run it. But yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
another traumatic Stozy story. He talked me into doing the
you got all
fantasy, and
your
I
friends
lost.
on the same team. That must have been a great experience. You got to
Yeah,
start with all your
$30,000
boys
later.
every night.
So yeah, I actually have a good story about this. So so basically, it was like basically our Discord group, right? I was like, all right, guys, no one's gonna pick us. We'll just draft each other. We're gonna take all of you guys, and we're just gonna be on a team, and we're gonna grind this thing out, right? And everyone was so happy. I think about halfway through the series, Justin is ready to fucking punch the other window in his room, knock it out, and he's just not doing well, right? And I'm like, Justin, you got to do it for the team. And even I wasn't doing that well.
Fire the
I wasn't
1K.
like, I think I was maybe break even, but like, I wasn't doing great either. I'd hope for a bit more, I think, at this point. I was like, Justin, for the team, you just got to keep firing. You got to keep going. We're like competitive. We're like almost there, right? So it's like you can't take a day off. And it was on the last day of the series. The 1K I think was gonna overlay by like 80K or something. It was like 60K. And I'm like, Justin, please, for the love of God, you have to fire this. And I'm like trying to call him, and trying to call him, Justin, you got to fire, you got to foul by action, yada yada. And Justin got a call from another friend who's like, dude, this is such a good opportunity. You have to take this opportunity. Justin fires the 1K, bricks it because, of course, he can just everything.
lose a flip right
I don't know
away.
why I was expecting like some kind of like
No,
late game heroic story.
no. He just breaks it and goes, Lucas, I never want to do this again. And Lucas, I never want to do this again. So that's the reason why Justin did not participate in the latest fantasy. But we'll get him back in there. I know we will.
That's fair. And you guys had to have had fun like together, like just despite
It was
results,
fun.
like
It was fun.
you guys got to
It was
sweat all your
fun, but
boys
it did
every night.
decimate my roll. Like it decimated my bankroll.
I've had scoops like that where I was like down 20K, like max firing everything. It can definitely be very feast or famine in that regard because you want to fire for your team and you want to get points. And
especially in
sometimes,
PKOs, you're always like,
yeah, I mean, it did help me. It did help me save a day. One of the last days of this most recent series where I wouldn't have fired with like 25 bigs in a PKO, but I ended up like winning or taking second or something for like 7K. I'm like, thank God I did that, I guess. But those stories are few and far between. But yeah, you're definitely losing some EV or taking some spots that you wouldn't take because of the fantasy. But you don't have to. You don't have to. It's only $250 or $350 depending on if you play the individual. But yeah, it makes you want it really hard.
It does. It definitely kept us. I mean, even though Justin, like towards the back half of that, like there was a point I think where I was just like burnt out because I was playing, and like after my sessions, I was like reviewing spots. So I was like just so burnt out because I was like trying to get better and like trying to learn and improve my game. And about like I think so it was a 2-week period. The second Monday, I was like, I'm just so done. I think I don't want to play. And then I look at the leaderboards, I'm like, fuck, we're in contention. I gotta play, right?
Yeah.
And that was just how it was the whole time. And it's like, guys, we gotta keep firing. Like we were in contention up until the end. So
I would probably do Scoop just because Scoop is a little less volatile. Like it's not as humongous of buy-ins.
Yeah.
I mean, humongous is a strong word, but
I mean, I think I had like 60K in buy-ins throughout the series. It's pretty hefty. It's not exactly where you want to be over a 2-week stretch of volume, right? I mean, I like it sometimes, but like obviously that could be pretty substantial if you have a downer. But yeah, Scoop is really nice and friendly for like bunch of 25s and 50s and 100s on the schedule as well, so they're not all 100s plus. I'm sure, like, honestly, if we, like, give more feedback, in the Discord, I think we could actually make a dent in making future series more mid-low stakes friendly as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind just seeing MGM run the like Iron Grid concurrently with the MGM. I think it'd be great. Because they definitely miss like the revenue because like the rake because like if you're firing 250s and hundreds, you would fire the 50 and the 25, right? If it were running, and especially if you're part of fantasy, right? Fantasy's good for the site, right? You just get all the regs firing infinite into every pool everywhere or every event. So it would be cool to see them like sort of merge that. That way we can get some lower stakes guys in there, get the effusion
Yeah,
calls
absolutely.
in there.
I don't see why they won't do that, but I mean, I guess they haven't for the past 3 series now since winter last year. It's been just 100s plus, but yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't be amenable to us if they're just gonna make a bunch of money and keep taking our feedback.
Yeah, the spring one is
yeah.
coming up soon, so I guess our feedback should probably be. I'll make a little message in the Discord, see who
Justin will just start flaming them every day.
Justin will make an AI
my
image.
rebuy add-on. What even changed? You made it like an earlier time, or what happened?
They lowered the starting stack. Dude, I was ridiculous. I mean, what the fuck? I want every tournament to be a turbo, I think, like inherently.
Yeah,
I love like
these long structures.
The 250 Sunday Saver is also fantastic. Like we're on the bubble and like there's multiple sub 10 big blind stack and like the biggest has like 20. I don't want like long structures just piss me off for some reason.
You don't want to play poker?
If it's
is that what you're saying?
If it's a $25 tournament, I shouldn't be final 2 tables with 100 bigs. Like, let's get this over with. Let's just see who wins and move on.
But for you have to remember, for some people, that's their main event.
That's true.
And also, one of the guys in my stable final tabled that like 15 out of 16 days, and then you change the structure. He's pissed. he's not happy with you.
Tell me
Poor
was on a
guy.
heater. Tell me got picked up that Stozy run good. Yeah. I'd
he'll
want to
be
see.
okay.
I'd want to see them add. It'd be nice. For them to add like mid stakes, slow stakes to their Spade series. And I also want to see a heads up tournament. I would love to see a heads up tournament in
That
there.
would be really cool.
Ugh. I mean, when
Just
on a Wednesday or something? Like when there's a light volume schedule?
Yeah, make it on an off day. Sure.
Make it like
Get
a
rid of the
trophy
PLOE.
event.
Add a heads up in there. Make it fun. You know?
Make it like
I mean,
make it a big thing.
That'd be
yeah,
fun.
I mean, it'd have to be like at least a 500 or something.
It'd
Sure.
be Lucas's Super Bowl.
It'd be so much fun. A 250, a
Yeah.
500. I'd be
I
down.
like the idea, but also I do also hate the like Stars Adrenaline tournaments that they run during their series, where it's like during fantasy you have to fire them. They start at like 10 o'clock at night when you're in the heart of all your other runs, and you're like, oh, by the way, now you have to play this 3-handed PKO, and it's never a higher buy-in than $75. By the way, so thanks for playing our tournament.
Stars is a mess, man.
Stars does have like the most random formats. I feel like MGM's biggest limitation in like having all these different formats is probably their software. I wouldn't shock me if like they're just unable to run more stuff just because of their software. But
yeah, rumor has it that they are going to upgrade it in the next 6 months to a year, but we'll see.
Thank God.
My hope is that they don't upgrade it, is that they just scrap it and have something totally new.
Yeah.
I don't want them to just build on top of this dinosaur. I need them to just
What
get
are they
rid of
running it on? The 888? Is it 888 engine? No, that's WSOP. What
party.
this is like
the party software from 2001. Like
this is like similar to what it was like a skin of Carbon, or Carbon was a skin of Party. Yeah, I recognize it.
I wasn't even born by the time they were, whatever engine they're using.
Dinosaur.
They're using. So yeah, but they just have to. They have to.
Yeah, if MGM is listening to us,
they have to update their software. If they can get mystery bounties on there, all three of us, we're probably the only 3 regs that would be happy about it.
Dude, I know a lot of guys. A lot of guys have grown to like it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's just good. I think for the longevity of the game, it's good for the recreationals. I feel like it keeps them in longer and attracts more of the gambly type, the guys you want to play with, right? So
absolutely.
So yeah, we'll leave off on this. If MGM is listening, your software is horrific, and you should be ashamed of yourself that we're sticking it out on that site.
We should tag MGM Dave and tell him to go through 2 hours and 2 minutes. Please change your software.
It'd be pretty cool if we could get him on at some point, talk to him about what it's like running a poker operation online. Maybe we'll get him on.
Yeah, I honestly, I have no doubt that you'd be able to do that. He's a really nice guy, so.
Yeah. Stozy, Steven, thank you so much for this.
Yeah,
this was really fun.
It's good talking to you guys. Thank you for having me again.
Yep. Take care, guys.
Have a good day.
Thanks, Stozy.